So this video is to show the Inquiry Max TCF process, but the non-advised process. So we have two types of TCF modules in Inquiry Max. Well, the same module, but different setups, so the layout of the system is significantly different. So this is the non-advised process. So first of all, we're in the tools area. So TCF module is here, but it's a very similar format as the standard TCF, which is making sure your dealer options have all of the prices and the terms in there as well. So if the car that I'm selling is 24,999, then this is the product that will be recommended. If the customer is a 3-year change cycle, then it'll only recommend terms based on what we recommend products based on the change cycle of the customer, etc. So please do make sure that your dealer options are all set up correctly. In terms of the actual TCF module, this would normally be done by someone at group level to actually have this set up. But the main differences are we've changed the name here to status disclosure rather than IDD. We also have, by changing that, we also change the title at the bottom. Instead of saying I have read and understood the document, it refers to the status disclosure instead. Added value products and finance questions, you don't fill out in there, okay, but you do fill out your qualification questions, which is a new section as part of the non-advised process. So you can name the question set whatever you wish by adding the tab label there. And then you start with your customer qualifying question and salesperson. So again, you don't have to split them out, but we've given it the way that this has been set up is so that there are questions for the customer and questions for the salesperson that's conducting the conversation with the customer. So you add your first question. And you can just keep going down. So once you've added all your questions, you can add in a leading question as well. So this one, will you be either the registered keeper or owner of the vehicle, or have a finance contract hire lease agreement in relation to the vehicle? If the answer to that is yes, then the next question will follow in from that is, will you be using the vehicle solely for social domestic pleasure and or commuting to and back to work and back? So you can have individual questions just one after another, or you can have leading questions which, dependent on the yes or no answer, will lead into a different next question set. You can see their customer questions, salesperson questions. And again, does the vehicle have alloy wheels? This is for the salesperson. Salesperson says yes. Are the alloy wheels to the original manufacturer's specification? Salesperson says yes. Are the wheels of split rim construction, polish, finish, recess, rebated, rim profile, etc.? Customer says no. Well, that would then make them eligible for a certain product. So let's talk about eligibility. So when you click on qualify, by answering the very first question, which is are you over 18? There, okay. Well, that will qualify them for gap, tyre, alloy, cosmetic. So you can see how it's set up. It also qualifies them for hire purchase contract, hire and PCP as well. The next question, are you UK resident? Yes, okay. Well, that also recommends you for these. So basically, you set your questions out and you answer. You go through each set to find out which ones is the customer eligible for. So you can see how easy it is to actually set this up. Okay. So once you've got it all set up and you're happy with the question sets, let's now show you what the process is for a customer. So if we just go and add in a new customer, excuse me. Okay, so we've popped that in, GDPR goes in there, and then we load our customer inquiry. So we'll go with a cougar. Okay, so once you click save, that will then bring up the TCF section just here, which is there. Okay, and then we're into the customer process. So status disclosure is there, so please inform the customer of our status disclosure. So that's one of the changes from the standard system. So all you need to do is confirm the obviously confirm with the customer that you have a status disclosure. I would recommend you obviously read it out to the customer as well, and then tick the box at the bottom. Then into customer information. So we will obviously ask for annual mileage, change cycle. So this is where the term in the dealer options comes into effect on this change cycle section. So it will only recommend products of the same change cycle or less. It won't recommend, so if you're a change cycle of 2 years, it won't recommend you a 3-year gap policy, basically. Date of birth is not mandatory in this section, but can be made mandatory when you accept the offer if that's something that is necessary. Insurance level cover, monthly budget, so you can either put in the budget if the customer doesn't want to let you know that, then you put undisclosed and it grays out the box. And then is finance being offered by the retailer, so generally you're going to make an offer with finance on it. Qualification questions, so here's our question set. So are you over 18? Yes. Are you a UK resident? Yes. Do you have a UK driving licence? If you decide to apply for finance, will you be the finance applicant? Will you be the registered keeper? Will you be using the vehicle for social domestic pleasure? With respect to the purchase of the vehicle, do you intend to take comprehensive insurance? And then for the sales exec, will the vehicle be under 8 years old? Yes. Does the vehicle have standard paint? Yes. Does the vehicle have alloy wheels? Yes. Are the alloy wheels manufacturer spec? Are they split rims? Are the tyres the original manufacturer spec, and do they have at least 2 mm of tread? Is this a distance sale? Okay. So if there's anything that the executive decides that they want to make a note of in there, in terms of that question that they've asked, then they can actually make a note at the bottom. So I've just gone into eligibility. I'm not ready for that yet. So make a note at the bottom. So if I go into add note, so they can put in there customer refused to divulge monthly budget due to not yet knowing what it is, as they are waiting for funds to be released. Okay, so we can pop something in there if we need to. Okay, so that's for the exec to pop anything in there regarding the questions. So that then takes us through to product eligibility. So if we go to product eligibility here, that will then tell us, based on the questions and answers that we've done, what the customer is eligible for. So here we go. So there's our asset protection. So there's we'll go back to settings, but we've got a setting set that this automatically starts the 4-day gap timer because it's non-advised. You can have it set so someone has to tick the box to say, yes, I've presented the product to the customer, and then start the timer at that point, but this will automatically set the timer. And again, you can see based on the price of the vehicle and the change cycle I added, it's recommending me 3-year and 2-year gap insurance. The tyre insurance, I haven't put the terms in, but again, that would shrink that down. Same for the alloy wheel cover and same for cosmetic repair. So by setting out the dealer options correctly, it really narrows the list of what the customer's eligible for, or suitable for, I should say, in terms of non-advised. So click onto TCF pack. If I click print pack, so I can show you what that looks like. So there's the status disclosure. IPIDs, etc. So all of the information's there that's required for the customer to make a decision. You can see there's no signature boxes on there because it's non-advised. If we choose to email the pack, then it will automatically pull through the customer's email address and the salesperson that's sending that out to the customer. And that's pretty much the process. Now, I spoke about blockers and settings. So if I just go back into TCF module and into our settings area here, so you can see how the setup works in the background. So we've obviously added all our questions in this section here. So you can tick areas you want to. So you need to have the non-advised process box ticked. Don't send finance IPIDs. If it's up to you, if you're only making suitability questions and not recommending products, then you can choose to have them removed. A product can be added to the deal if the customer is not qualified. So that is again regarding the term and the price of the car. So if the customer is a 2-year change cycle, you will not be able to add a 3-year gap policy to the offer. The block order form if questions incomplete. So you can see that if you haven't asked the questions, you won't be able to do an order form, you won't be able to send an offer, accept an offer, complete a handover. So there's lots of blocks in there to stop the customer from, or stop the salesperson from going too far down the process without the questions being asked, and making sure that you're offering the customer product that is based on their suitability questions. Automatically start the timer for timed products, which is what I've mentioned already. Status disclosure, alert and name change, which is where we change it from IDD to status disclosure. Block accessing an offer if TCF pack has not been generated, and then pack summary renamed as well to IDD. So you can make lots of different changes in the background of the system, but I think you can see it's quite a simple process once it's all set up, and for the customer, I would say a lot less questions than some of the advised processes when you're looking at actual eligibility and recommendations. Thank you.